A surveillance camera captures something extraordinary. A one-in-a-million event.
This finger of God comes down from the sky, zaps him, and he's down.
Usually, people who are struck by lightning die of a heart attack.
The camera goes on to record something astonishing.
A lightning bolt could kill an elephant, and here's this guy getting back up after about 5 seconds.
Seemingly unscathed, he staggers off.
A few seconds later, boom, he's hit again. Been hit by lightning twice.
This guy gets hit twice. And he's not even dead.
Experts are confounded by this death-defying incident.
I've seen trees hit by lightning. The entire tree is on fire.
As many as 24,000 people are killed by lightning every year. Yet this mystery man survives 2 hits, apparently unharmed. Electrical engineer David Wallace investigates how a person can survive a strike.
Let's bring the dummy right here to start.
Wallace runs Mississippi State University's high-voltage laboratory. He and his team set up an experiment to measure the intensity of a lightning strike and discover what happens to the human body when it's hit directly.
Here is a 3 million volt impulse generator. Today, we're going to be shooting approximately 1.2 million volts out of it. As it discharges, it will go into the ground rod right here.
Wallace carefully positions a test dummy to receive the strike.
We have the strike distance basically a foot away from the head.
The mannequin is rigged with a network of sensors to measure the flow of electrical current.
Now in the dummy, we have an internal measurement which will mimic the internal organ, and we'll be able to determine how much current the human body is going to see here when it gets struck.
Just 1 amp of electrical current is enough to kill.
Everybody be sure you do have earmuffs. This is going to be loud when it goes off.
The strike will last less than 1/3 of a millisecond, captured on a super high-speed camera for frame-by-frame analysis.
Let's get ready to energize the system. We're at 204.4, we need to be at 205.5. The scopes are set, perfect. Okay, starting now. Going hot. Yo, yo, yo! What did our scope show? Wow. You're showing over 125 amps going through the internal organs of the body.
Our mystery man could have been hit with a charge 6 times stronger than the bolt from a domestic electric socket.
That's very deadly. He's gone.
Lightning is easily powerful enough to be fatal. Those lucky enough to survive a strike often sustain serious injuries.
What happens when a lightning bolt goes through the body, it completely electrifies the organs, essentially fries them. And what it does is it causes blood clotting and leads to either impairment or immediate death.
The odds of being struck twice by lightning and surviving unharmed are incalculably small. Yet our mystery man is not alone. 50-year-old father of 4, Gary Reynolds, has been struck by lightning 3 times and lived to tell the terrifying tale.
My immediate feeling when I feel a storm coming is panic. It's frightening.
Could Gary hold the key to the mystery man's extraordinary survival? In July 2007, Gary shelters from a storm in his garage.
I had walked over into the corner of my garage, and the lightning bolt came through an open door. I was locked to the refrigerator, couldn't let go.
A year later, Gary is struck again, this time while he's asleep in bed.
I watched the lightning bolt come out of my hand.
In 2016, Gary moves 600 miles to a new home, but can't escape being struck a third time. His survival with only superficial injuries baffles doctors.
He told me, "I've never seen anybody walk in from an accident like this." He says either they get brought in on a stretcher or they're dead.
Experts believe that Gary survived because of the way the lightning struck him.
Most people that are struck by lightning are struck indirectly. So lightning strikes an object and it travels to them.
An indirect lightning bolt has lesser intensity as it hits a human being. It actually increases your chances of survival.
Experts consider if our mystery man's survival could be explained by an indirect strike. They re-examine the surveillance footage.
In the video, I see a lot of trees around, I see the cars on the street. There's a lot of tall objects around him, which would typically attract the lightning before he would.
Maybe the lightning sort of branches out and only part of it is hitting him. That would at least explain why he isn't killed outright and why he seems relatively unhurt by it.
Yet frame-by-frame analysis of the clip appears to discount this possibility.
The original video, not pristine, but we're going to do the best we can here.
Starting on the first frame, and we step through it. And now, boom, we have a lightning flash.
The bolt is clearly seen striking the man's head twice.
I don't see any evidence that it's anything other than a direct strike.
And this direct strike should be fatal. Coming up, mysterious glowing orbs terrify a remote Norwegian town.
Everything was chaos. Something huge was out there.
And scientists test a theory about surviving a lightning strike.
Okay, let's get ready. Going hot.
Scientists are trying to discover how a man survives 2 lightning strikes in quick succession. Electrical engineer David Wallace believes he's found a vital clue in the footage.
When we look at the video, we notice a woman walking with an umbrella. So this is an indication that it is most likely raining here. So if it's raining, the guy, since he does not have an umbrella, will most likely be wet.
David believes wet clothing may shield the man from the lightning.
Let's get ready to cut the water on and start the rain.
The team at Mississippi State University rerun the experiment, this time to test what happens when a lightning bolt hits a wet victim.
Everybody ready?
The results are very different to Wallace's dry test.
When we had a dry dummy out there and struck directly, we had an internal current flow of approximately 130 amps. Now we're seeing an internal flow of approximately 0.7 amps. Dramatic difference. Majority of the current now is flowing over the body in place of going through the body.
The moisture increases the conductivity of the clothes. The lightning's electric current takes the path of least resistance.
I definitely see a survivability rate going up dramatically over the original direct strike.
But in spite of David's findings, the footage still divides opinion.
That footage is extremely unusual because being struck twice would be extremely rare.
Image analyst Connor McCourt is skeptical that the clip is genuine.
When you see a person struck by lightning 2 times in a matter of seconds, you have to question, is it real or is it fake?
Scrutinizing each frame, he sees a troubling detail.
There's a van in the foreground of the CCTV video which has a shadow that's cast in front of it. So that indicates to me that there's a light source just below the camera.
Lightning bolts are much brighter than streetlights and will completely transform an existing shadow pattern.
With that kind of intensity, it should override the artificial light that's coming from below the camera. It should obliterate the shadow in front of the van. When we get up to the lightning strike, actually the shadows remain, and so this is troubling. It leads me to believe that this video is not authentic.
The only way we can be really positive that this was a true video is let's track down the man, find him, and get his side of the story and see what actually happened. Now the odds of that, astronomical.